Thank you for tuning in to the Patricia Show. My name is Patricia, and let's talk. Please press subscribe and like and share this audio with someone who you think may need it. You hear me often talk about focusing within and without, having your attention be within yourself or without yourself. When we focus our attention outside of ourselves, which means we're focusing it in the world, what's going on in the world, I find that you kind of lose sight sometimes of who you are, what you're here to do, and you just lose sight of stuff. The universe has been trying to tell me this for a while, and I think it just hit me. Here recently, I've been talking on the phone now. I'll say it like I have new sets of friends. So I've been talking on the phone more, and this was something that I really wasn't doing much. But I would always kind of keep part of my attention within myself, but I haven't been doing that. When you don't keep your attention within yourself, you really get caught up in the world outside. So like, for example, when I'm trying to explain to somebody something and they're just not getting it, and then I become frustrated, and then you just find yourself kind of like you're hot, like in a debate, not an angry debate or just a debate. But I'm a strong believer that when you share your knowledge, and if people aren't ready for it, just let it go. Don't keep trying to explain to make them ready. Actually, that's not our job to do that. If you tell somebody something and they don't understand it, it's their responsibility to seek out the truth of what you're saying. It is not your responsibility to sit there and continue to try to phrase it in different ways so that the person is going to understand it. And I've been doing that lately, and it is extremely draining. Not even talk about messing with your finances, because confusion does cut off the finances. I think it's because, we want people to learn and we want to share our knowledge with them, but that doesn't mean they're ready. Like I've always said, I think of spiritual growth as a ladder, and we're all on different parts of that ladder. So if I'm telling you something and you don't understand what I'm saying, and you keep telling me, you're disagreeing with what I'm saying, that's fine. I have no problem with you disagreeing. But me, I should just be quiet and don't keep trying to explain, because you're not ready. You're simply not on that spiritual ladder, and so you're not ready. Let it go. The person will either come back later and say, oh yeah, I see what you were trying to tell me, or whatever. Sometimes God has different ways for you to learn something, and it may not be through the avenue that you think it could be. Like, for instance, if I'm discussing something with someone and they don't understand what I'm saying, instead of me trying to find words to explain it to them, maybe the universe doesn't want me to be the one to explain it to them. So I should allow them time to go on about their business. And then if they go to that power within, because you should go to it for everything, and say, hey, I didn't understand what Dr. Patricia was trying to tell me. Can you show me what she was trying to say? The universe will lead and guide you maybe a book to read. Maybe someone else will come to you and you all start talking about the same thing that me and you were talking about, but that person is able to articulate it to you better than I was. Maybe that person, it was meant for you to learn from and not me. So maybe it's not meant for me to stay on the phone or in person or in a conversation with you and continue to try to explain the same thing over and over until after 2 hours' time, you finally got it. That is extremely draining. You have to let the person go. If they don't understand what you're saying, then okay, they're just, maybe they never heard of it before or whatever the kid, they're just not ready. Because again, spiritual ladder, everybody's on different parts of that ladder. And I just have found myself really getting caught up with that. Another thing too, I find for myself, when I'm, it's very easy to fall back in like a gossip where or criticism of somebody. It's very easy to do that when you're like, I don't want to say, well, when you're talking to someone every day, or let's say it was a group friendship and all of you are talking, but not at the same time. And it's very easy to go into that where you might say another member of your group, maybe she says something and you didn't agree with it. And so you telling another member that you didn't agree with it. You know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say? So it's like, if you're not involved in like this group, you wouldn't you wouldn't do that. I guess what I'm trying to say is easier to fall into a gossip and criticizing when you are not focused within yourself. It's very easy. When I'm focused within myself, this is the truth, and I'm having a conversation with someone, if I want to say I didn't like the pants she had on, I always get this little nudge that comes within me when I'm focused within to tell me, don't say that. That'll be criticizing. And I won't say it. But when I'm not focused within, and I hear that, I'll just keep on talking. I gotta hear it. Just keep on talking. Oh yeah, those pants she had on, I didn't really like what she had on, or whatever the case might be. But when I'm focused within, I'm very much aligned with the universe. So it's just certain things I don't do and I won't say. When I'm not aligned with the universe, the mouth just be going. Oh yeah, she told me that she had a husband and she had divorced her husband and they're not together, or she was dating somebody while she was married. You get into the gossip. So you have to do, so what it should be is that it doesn't matter if you're talking to people or not talking to people, you should always be so aligned and focused within. Now, when I say focus within, that means putting your concentration within. You might say, how do you do that when you're on the phone? Well, that's the easiest to do it, because it's like when I'm talking to you now. Part of my attention is making this recording. The other part of my attention is just sitting in my stomach area inside of myself. And I put my attention there while I'm talking, while I'm making this audio. So that means that I am talking to you, but I am focused within myself. So if a message or something come up, I'm going to easily get it, or because I'm focused within myself. That's what I mean by that. But if I'm talking to you and I'm focused, my attention is on the TV or just in front of me or just in the energy in front of me, my attention is focused outside of myself. And if I'm talking to you and my attention is focused in my chest area, inside my body or my stomach, or just the darkness inside of my body, then I am focused within myself. And we should always be focused within ourselves. Part of your attention is within yourself, and part of your attention is outside of yourself, because clearly you're talking on the phone, So if you're talking on the phone, part of that attention is outside of yourself. But we should always focus inside. When you don't focus inside, the conversation could just run rapid. You might say things you didn't want to say. And it's easier for anger to come into the picture because you're not focused on that power within you. You're focused outside of yourself. And when you're focused outside, you just don't have control. You really have control when you focus within. When you really get it and understand what I'm saying about focus within yourself, then you'll understand that your attention should always be inside of yourself, no matter what you're doing. But anyway, so what I wanted to tell you is that even me can come off that, and not be focused within when I'm having a conversation with somebody focusing outside. But I realize it though. It immediately come to me and I realize, girl, you've been doing too much for the last couple of months. You've got these new friends and you're focusing outside of yourself. You need to pause, come back inside of yourself. You don't get that kind of nudging because you don't focus inside of yourself anyway. So if you're not focused inside of yourself, there's nothing to come up to tell you, hey, go back inside of you. You know what I mean? Because you weren't in there anyway. But me, I do get these nudges that, okay, you gotta, you're coming too much out of yourself. You're becoming too you're not aligned with the universe. You gotta go back in yourself and make sure you're always aligned with the universe. And that's what I want to tell you. Make sure, no matter what you're doing throughout the day, you're always aligned with the universe by simply focusing your attention within yourself. Go into your little chest area. That is your heart chakra. When you look back in your chest, it's dark in there because it's just space. Focus on that space. If you know where your heart is, simply focus on the space around your heart. And then you're inside of yourself. And then you can speak whatever comes to your mind. You might even get a message to say to the person. You never know. But your attention is focused within yourself. And just by focusing within, you just become more calmer and more clear. So just remember to always focus within. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Patricia Show. Let's talk.